He fell in love with her. Mermaid. Actually, mermaids are so powerful that they can control the mind of any human being. In the beginning of the story, we see the sea where some people were catching fish in a boat. When they take the net out of the sea, a scary thing comes out of it and attacks them. All the people there with great difficulty control that thing. They had locked it in a box, but that thing bites one of their companions. Then one of them calls the army for help. So soon the army helicopter also came there. He takes away the wounded thing with his companion, which he had locked in the box. The whole team was very worried, because after that incident, they had no news of their wounded companion. What will happen to him? After that, in the story, we see a boy named Ben. He used to live next to the sea in a small house separate from his parents. His parents were very worried because of Ben, because he did not like to live with them. One day when Ben passes through the jungle, he meets a girl on the way. She fainted when she saw him. When she regains consciousness, she finds herself in Ben's house. But that girl seemed very strange to him, because she neither tells him anything nor says anything. She was just staring at Ben, as if she had seen a human for the first time. When Ben goes to his house to call the doctor, that girl ran away from his house and slept on the shore of the sea in a boat. In the morning, that girl catches a fat rat and eats it raw. She had made his breakfast after that. She went to the town to roam around. She sees a child who was listening to the poem of Mermaid on TV. That girl hears that poem and names herself Rin, and went and sat in a man's car. Now the man who had a rat in his car takes advantage of that and takes him to the jungle where he was going to do wrong with him. But Rin bites him and kills him. On the other hand, Ben was also looking for Rin all day. When he was looking for her, he found her on the shore of the sea. Ben now brings her home again and tries to talk to her. She tells Ben her name is Rin, and also sings a very beautiful song. The song that Rin was singing was famous among the people of the town that this song is sung by a mermaid. Ben was suspecting her that maybe she is a mermaid. That's why he goes to call the doctor, seeing her shivering from behind. Rin had jumped into the sea. As soon as she goes into the water, Rin turns into a scary mermaid and started screaming. When Ben hears her screams, he also jumped into the water behind her. But she attacks him. Ben came out of the water with great difficulty. The next morning, he goes to a woman whose name was Ellen. She also saw Rin going to the jungle. She tells him about mermaids. Ellen says that they are just beautiful in appearance, but she considers humans her enemies. Now going from her house, she brought a book about mermaids with her, so that he can read it. So here we come to know that at the beginning of the story, the man who was attacked by a scary thing in the army took him with them. She was no one else but Rin's sister, and for this reason, Rin also came out of the water for the first time to find her sister on the ground. That's why she didn't know how to speak, and neither did she know anything about humans. The next night, Ben goes to the sea with his team, which we saw at the beginning of the story. They see Rin swimming in the water in their camera on the ship. That's when they started hearing screams, not knowing anything. Ben was thinking that Rin is in trouble. That's why he jumps into the water to save her. But as soon as he goes into the water, he finds a device which was kept to harm Rin. Ben came out with that device. In the next scene, we see Rin who came out of the water again. She scares a woman, wears her clothes and comes to Ellen's house. Who knew about mermaids? She tries to tell Ellen in sign language that she has separated from her sister. That's why she has come to find her on the ground. On the other hand, we see Rin's sister. She was also a water fairy. She was imprisoned by the army. They had locked her in a very large water tank and were experimenting on her. At the same time, they had kept that man with them. At the beginning of the story, Rin's sister attacked him. Whenever he regained consciousness, they used to inject him and make him unconscious. The army was doing everything so that this man does not go out and tell anyone about this mermaid. On the other hand, Rin was smelling everything in Ellen's house because she was hungry. That's why Ellen now goes to the market and brings a lot of seafood for her, i.e. marine animals for her. At home, Ben shows his friend the same sign that came from Rin's attack. He also shows his friend the camera recording. He was also convinced by seeing everything that Rin is really a mermaid. After that, Ben brings the device he had found in the sea to Ellen's house. When she screams, there was a scream in it which was actually Rin's sister's. The army recorded those sounds and threw the device into the sea. When Ben runs that device, Rin ran out of anger and broke the door and came out. She pulls this device from Ben. She was understanding that her sister is in that device who is calling her for help. Ben explains to her that these are just voices. We will soon find your sister. Rin was beginning to understand what she was saying. Ben leaves Rin at Ellen's house and goes with his friend. They both come home and start researching about the mermaids because they both started liking Rin. They wanted to help her. Her eyes started affecting their minds. That means mermaids have so much power that they can control any human's mind. Similarly, Rin's sister also heard her voice from an army man. The same song that Rin sang to Ben. That's why that army soldier sat outside his tank all day and kept looking at him. We are shown the man who was imprisoned by the army with Rin's sister. He has a nurse's mobile in his hand. He takes that mobile and messages his friends so that someone can help him. When his friends get his message, they find out about that number. They also found out that that number belonged to an army nurse. She wanted to save her friend. That's why they follow the nurse. The police also found out about that man in the town who was killed by Rin in the jungle. It is found out that this work was done by a strange-looking girl. That woman also got the police to correct the report whose clothes were stolen by Rin. That's why the police goes to that woman and makes a sketch of Rin so that they can easily find her. We are shown Ben. He says that he will tell you everything about a human which will make it easy for you to live on the earth. When Ben was talking to Rin, he feels that Rin wants to tell him something. She was coming near him. But Ben didn't want that. That's why he keeps her away from him. Ben went to listen to his friend's phone. That's when Rin left from here. She meets a man by the sea who took her to a party. She drank a lot there. When Ben and his friend found out about Rin's disappearance, they were worried because they knew that Rin could harm anyone. That's why they quickly go to find her. They reached the party where Rin was. Before they could take her with them, she fell into a swimming pool drunk on alcohol. Ben was very scared here because he knew that as soon as he went into the water, Rin would turn into a mermaid. But nothing like that happened. They take her to their room. There she tells Ben's friend that she can only turn into a mermaid in the sea. She hugged Ben's friend after telling him. Rin was now convinced that she really wants to help him. On the other side, we are shown that Rin's sister broke the water tank and killed the army men. She was trying to escape from there in a nurse's uniform. That's when that man gets up who was captured by the army men with Rin's sister. He took out the nurse's car keys from Rin's sister's clothes. Both of them were successful in escaping. That man quickly calls his friend because he was in a very bad condition. Rin tells Ellen that that day my sister had come to get food. The day she was captured, Rin was also in a very bad condition. It was difficult for her to breathe because she had not gone to the sea for many days. Ben tells her that she should go into the water, but she refuses. She says that she will not go back without taking her sister. That's why Ben puts a tracking device locket around her neck so that wherever Rin is, she knows about it. That's when Ben gets a call from his friend who was telling him to come to the jungle. On his call, Ben comes to the jungle. And he also brought Rin with him when she was going to go to the water by the sea. So there she meets his sister. Both of them were very happy to see each other. Rin's sister takes her to the water with her. But after their departure, Ben and his friend were very sad because they had become very attached to Rin. Now Rin had found her sister, but here a new turn comes in the story which song Rin's sister had sung to the army soldier. He was crazy about that song. That's why he wanted to get Rin's sister now. Now the story is shown to us after a month where Ben and his friend were researching why dead animals are found on the shore of the sea. Ben was leaving his house. That's when the tracking device starts speaking. Then they come to know that Rin wants to come back to the land. Ben quickly went to the jungle with his friend. But there they only find Rin's fallen locket which her sister had removed from her neck because Rin wanted to take help from Ben and his friend. When the army people caught Rin's sister and experimented on her, that's why she hated humans. She considered everyone as her enemy. Now Rin comes to Ben's house with her sister, where Ellen was also there. She says to Ben, I need your help. All the mermaids in the sea are dying of hunger because humans have started hunting sea animals more than before. After saying this, Rin and her sister had a fight. Because her sister didn't want Rin to tell this to anyone, she injured her and went away from there. Ben's friend cleanses Rin's wounds. He promises both of them that he will definitely help her. At the same time, Ben goes to his dad's factory who used to catch fish on the shore of the sea. With the help of a laptop, He found